everyone, welcome back to another episode of Street Interviews. I'm AYOTOMIWAALUKO. Today I'm in Sheffield and I'm going to be asking people what they think about the US Supreme Court's decision to overturn the ruling on Roe versus Wade. Now, so many of you probably have no idea behind the story of Roe versus Wade. Well, in 1973, Roe versus Wade was a landmark legal decision issued, which the U.S. Supreme Court, in a 7-2 decision, struck down a Texas law banning abortion, effectively legalizing the procedure across the U.S. The court held that a woman's right to an abortion was implicit in the right to privacy, protected by the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. The court divided pregnancy into 3 trimesters and declared that the choice to end a pregnancy in the first trimester was solely up to the woman. In the second trimester, the government could regulate abortion, although not ban it, in order to protect the mother's health. In the third trimester, the state could prohibit abortion to protect a fetus that could survive on its own outside the womb, except when a woman's health was in danger. Now, the U.S. Supreme Court, the nation's most senior legal body, has overturned that right. As a result, many states already have restrictions in place, such as requirements that young pregnant women involve their parent or a judge in their abortion decision. Other states already have waiting periods between the time a woman first visits an abortion clinic and the actual procedure. Many women today are having to travel further to get abortions, often across borders, and they're having to pay more for them.
Please, can you tell me your name?
It's Eloise.
Hello. What do you think about the decision to overturn the ruling on Roe versus Wade in the US?
I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous that men are getting to make those choices as well, and the fact that there was one woman involved who said that she wanted to have that overturned. I just genuinely don't understand it, and it makes me angry to think that it's also an English-speaking country. America and England work very closely together in the government.
Right.
And it's scary to think that something so close to us that it's going to go that way. That it could go that way for us here as well. I was literally crying about it this morning, thinking, I read something on Instagram that was saying one woman who had an ectopic pregnancy, it's literally, been 24 hours, and the treatment for that is an abortion, and she had to wait for hours and hours to get that treatment because her doctor had to talk to a lawyer about it to sort it out. It's a medical procedure, and whether or not you've got a moral opinion about whether a fetus is alive or not, you need to do something like that. If it's required, why wouldn't we be able to access that kind of medication, that kind of procedure? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's massively sad. That ruling was a huge moment in time, and it gave so many people the opportunity to take their lives back. Pregnancy is a fantastic thing if you're happy about it and if you want a child and if you are in a position to support and love a child. Not everyone is. And this is something that we're seeing now, the right are pushing it here. And I'm not sure if people in the mainland, but I'm from Northern Ireland, and we are the only part of the UK with decriminalised abortion. And people here don't realise that. They think because abortion is reasonably freely available that it's decriminalised, and it's not. So women in Great Britain are at risk from, all it takes is one person to push, and that is still a criminal act under the 1967 Act. It didn't decriminalise it, it kept it a criminal act. So we are on a precipice here, and people who support abortion need to be aware of that and need to not rest on their laurels. It can happen here.
To be honest, I don't think it's right.
Okay.
I think we all should have his own rights, and if someone wants an abortion, then they should be allowed to have one, because I do think that some are going to go to back street abortionists, and then they could die. They could have problems with that. And medically, sometimes people, they do need to have an abortion. And I know they did say that if it was life-threatening, then they would let them have it. But again, you've got to prove things. And I just don't think somebody should be going through all that. That's my opinion anyway.
My partner was the journalist Leora McKee, who was murdered in 2019 in Derry by the IRA. And the aftermath of that was that I spoke to the Prime Minister about the fact that Northern Ireland didn't have same-sex marriage and we didn't have abortion in line with the rest of the UK.
I didn't know that, to be honest.
Yeah,
Until
so
now.
we were never in line with the rest of the UK,
Okay.
and people have been fighting for that since 1967.
That's a long time.
Yeah, because I mean we are part of the Union. We are told you are fully a part of the Union of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. But we did not have the same rights as our sisters on the mainland. So people have been fighting for that for a very long time. And in 2019, we managed to have abortion decriminalised. And now we're the most liberal part of the UK in terms of abortion rights. And it's insane because we were always so backward for so long. So I think that's the thing that I want people here who believe in abortion rights to be aware of.
Okay.
You're not so free. And you cannot say it won't happen here because it's happened in America, and we look at them as the land of the free, you know. And you look at this is Great Britain. It's not going to stay great for long if we keep allowing our rights to be eroded, and that's what will happen.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. Hello, good afternoon. Hi, my name is Christiana. I'm a freelance journalist. Do you mind if I ask you a quick question about the abortion rights in the US?
Abortion rights in the US.
The overturning
Yeah, I know-
of the
I know what
Roe.
it's all
Okay,
about.
you know what it's all about.
Yes.
Yes.
One thing I don't understand is
Yes.
why does this country take so much notice of what happens in the United States
Right.
when in reality their laws, their way of life, their whole
Yeah.
system is there's no relation to us
Yes.
apart from you could say a common language maybe.
Right, but then this
But
has
then
to do
again,
with
yes, but it can
this has to
affect
do
the rest
with
of the
women
world.
rights
How
all
you
over
think.
the world. Exactly.
My personal feelings are
Okay.
since I was a male I could never carry a child.
Right.
So therefore then, as a male, I have no rights whatsoever
Right.
to say what happens to a female's body.
Right.
So
Of
what
course.
happens to your decision is
Of course.
yours. My own personal feeling
Right.
is I think abortion is wrong, but,
Right.
and it is a big but, there should be more in birth control.
Okay.
If you are, you might say, going to have sex,
Right.
you shouldn't. You should have birth control. You should be taught birth control.
Okay.
You should have easy access to it. That's my own personal. Once a life has started, it's entitled to go to it.
Okay.
But nothing to do with me. That's really my personal. The other side of it, birth control.
Great. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
you
Have a
take
lovely
care.
day. Thank you,
Enjoy
sir.
your day.
And you. Thank you.
I think it's disgusting. I think it's petrifying in this day and age that we're going backwards. I can't imagine how women and anyone who has reproductive organs in America to be feeling like they have no control and that they could die if they accidentally get pregnant or they have a pregnancy that needs terminating.
It's actually very scary. What do you think? What do you think? Can I just say real quick? Come on, tell me.
Yeah, so I think it's obviously really vile. I think there's abortion is one thing, but I think there's a lot of people out there that have health issues and they've all been disregarded. So, like, I think it's called ectopic pregnancies. I saw that there was one woman who, because there's already been trigger laws in place, she had an ectopic pregnancy and the hospital had to contact the lawyer for like hours. I think it took 5 hours for them to contact the lawyer before they said she could have the abortion, because it's not ectopic pregnancies, it's not even in your womb, so it's like it's not, yeah, it's literally so dangerous. So the lawyer had to contact the hospital, whatnot. I forgot what I was going to say, sorry. So I think just a lot of women that have health issues can't carry babies. That's a separate issue, and obviously we just have our rights to our body anyway. If you want an abortion, then you should be able to get that. And it seems like Americans don't really care about children until they don't really care about children until before they're born. So they want you to keep the baby. But they don't want to give any help once she's born. You have to pay for the labour. There's no free healthcare there. You have to pay for everything yourself. They look down on people that are on welfare in America. So it's like, how are you expecting these people to have kids because you want them to, but then not providing them with any help or support or anything afterwards, and then looking down on them for it even more. It just doesn't make sense to me. It has to match up. If you want people to have kids, you're going to have to help them with resources afterwards. You're going to have to build a life for that child afterwards. Make sure they've got a good support system. You can't just throw kids in the deep end, expect them to be born and just leave them to it. It just doesn't work like that. I also think it's got more to do with declining birth rates in America rather than anything else. I think they're just sort of pretending it's to do with like babies' rights and whatnot, when I think it's really because a lot of birth rates are falling in America, and I think this is their way of genuinely creating this handsmaid tale where they're forcing women to have kids, and I think it's only going to get worse. And I just hope it doesn't spread to like the UK, because we obviously know America's one of the leading, well, it is the leading country, so it'll be interesting to see if the kind of mindset trickles down to other countries, and that's what I'm dreading really as well.
Right. To be fair, they have been protests all over the world, even
yeah.
I think there was one just in front of the
yeah.
town hall. And I think it's very scary really, but you know, this is something that has just happened recently.
Yeah.
So let's just see what happens next.
Yeah. I think there's already, I read yesterday that Louisiana, I think, had trigger laws in place, but they've blocked it. And I think in a few of these places there are starting to be judges that have blocked the trigger laws coming into place. So I do hope that maybe that will continue happening, maybe some like individual judges. But then I think it's just sad that in obviously really conservative places like Texas and Alabama, it's just going to stay. Like a lot of them seem to agree with it. There were also, as much as there have been protests, there were also people celebrating when it got overturned. So at that point it's like, what's going to happen? I just have no faith in America, so
raped, and she don't want to be reminded of that rape, and she's got to have that baby. Then she's going to suffer, the baby's going to suffer. Mental health. Do you know what I mean? You've heard of people killing themselves because they can't have abortions. So yeah, it's disgusting.
It's a serious issue, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Well, let's wait and see. If they are going to change their minds, hopefully we'll see.
Hopefully, because it's just, like I said, it's a woman's body. She'll be able to do what she wants.
Hard fight, won't it?
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
I think it seems like there's been a massive fallout, and I think it was quite a silly decision to be made. I feel like it should be probably a case-by-case scenario. I think any sort of blanket rule, like almost one-size-fits-all rule for anything, is never a good thing. So I don't think it's sensitive enough to the needs and individual cases.
Census.
So Boris said recently that he feels that this new decision is sort of like them going backwards. What do you make of the statement, of the Prime Minister's statement?
I think he'll say anything to please a crowd at the minute to get us back on track, which he can say whatever he wants. It doesn't change what kind of man he is. But I think it is going backwards. I think it's actually worse than going backwards, because this is stripping away human rights. And this is about humanity. It's not just about women. This is about our right to live and to choose to live, and the decisions we have to make in order for that to happen. I think what Boris has to say is pretty irrelevant.
It's all very it's all very superficial, like saying it, but is he gonna actually make a stand? Because we as the UK, we can make a stand against America. We can say we don't agree with what you're doing. Saying that they're going backwards in time, are you going to actually bring that up when you have these meetings? You know, when you go meet these politicians in America, are you actually going to engage in that conversation and be like, what you're doing isn't right? Or is it simply a statement to make to appease your country and be like, yeah, we don't agree with it, what they're doing is wrong?
No, I think it's such an important thing to talk about, because I feel like a lot of people are claiming to be pro-life, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's more important to support the lives that are already here than the lives that aren't here yet.
Right.
You keep seeing so many things on social media, and I know it's a controversial topic, but at the end of the day, people claiming to be pro-life can't be pro-life if you're not supporting the lives that are already here.
Okay.
And I feel like you can get really scientific with it, but I just think it's important to be inclusive to what everyone thinks.
Hi, please, what's your name?
Mariam.
Hello, Mariam. Let me ask you, what do you think about the decision to overturn the ruling on Roe versus Wade in the United States?
I feel for me it depends. It's not in all cases though. I feel in some cases, just like like rape, like when someone rapes someone, like you don't expect me to keep the baby, right? So I feel in that cases abortion should be done, or they should allow people to do abortion. But in other cases, probably young girls having sex and getting pregnant through the processing, that should be like a lesson to them for me. I just feel it's not in all cases, different.
Right. Thank you.
I think it's awful, horrendous. It should be up to a woman to make that decision. Is my thought on that.
Okay.
Don't really know what else to add to it. I think that's all I think of it. I think it shouldn't be a church issue.
Right.
So yeah.
So I'm a bit indifferent about it, but I feel that everybody has the right to what they want to do and what they want to do with their body. So, but I'm also understanding of the decision because it's for safety reasons. I think a lot of people go overboard. So I think like they say, everything should be done in moderation. So, but it's like everybody has a right to the body, but I think everything should just be done in moderation and control and all. But I'm not in support of the war.
Great. Thank you for your time.
Cheers.
So we've come to the end of this video, and after speaking with a few women and a few men as well, I have learned that most of them are obviously not happy about the decision of the US Supreme Court to overturn the ruling on Roe and Wade. But the question still remains, what is going to happen? Because at the moment, there are hundreds and thousands of people all over the world protesting against this ruling. So what's going to happen? What is next? That is something that we all have to wait to find out. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please, if you like this video, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Also, leave your comments in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.